Super bread, now why me jocking on them, hate them, man. When I do that, soldier boy, I lean to the left and crack that thing now. I'm jocking on you, I'm jocking on you. And if we get the fight, then I'm cocking on you. You catch me at your local party, yes, I crack it every day. Haters get mad, cause I got me some bathing apes. Soldier boy, I finna why me crack it, why me roll? Why me crack that soldier boy, that Superman, that all? Now why me you? Crack that soul, 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 now why me you?
Tell me where we're at right now in the city, what part of town?
Right now, we in between Fort Totten and Tacoma.
Okay.
In the northwest quadrant.
Okay. Yeah, man, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out your busy schedule. I know you have a show tonight, but you made time. I actually reached out to him in the DM, and he was so gracious to even read it, answer it, and then agree to do this. So I just thank you so much for holding me down and letting us do this.
You already know, son. It's my pleasure, to be honest.
Awesome. I appreciate you. So, for those who don't know, Suryu, he's I don't want to call him a rapper. He's more of a sonic creative. I first was introduced to him through the incredible song African Satan. I was in Atlanta and I heard the song and I said, yo, what is this? And I just been playing it nonstop, like bumping it up and down 75 around Edgewood, and people were like, what are you playing?
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I was on a podcast, we played music, I played it a lot on there, and it was like, yo, what is the song you keep playing? I was like, dude, this guy is the future. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm 32 years old today. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday.
Thanks so much. But I look up to this guy, like, what he's doing with his music is something I think people will study. I told someone the other day, like, he's not just a lyricist. He says seances. It's not just lyrics. Because I try to understand, like, okay, I feel what he's saying, but I don't comprehend on this plane. But when you rise up to another level, you're like, yo, this guy is really saying something incredible. So I just want you guys to, after this interview, you check out his music. He did a lot of stuff with Tooth Choir. He did stuff with Tony Cruz, R. Stokes, October 71. He's really out there. So, yeah. So let's definitely jump into this. So, for those who don't know you, how do you describe yourself? Who are you?
Probably, I'm a young black man. I don't know, dude. Like, this is very hard to, like, I guess an artist, a multimedia artist.
Yeah.
You know, just artists in general, you know.
Awesome. I know as a child you drew a lot. You were a cartoonist.
Yeah, I wanted to be a cartoonist. The very first thing I wanted to be growing up. But I got, like, pushed into, you know, just discouraged for that, really.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know, all the things I wanted to be were kind of crazy after that. Like, I remember I saw Rush Hour. I wanted to be like Jackie Chan. I wanted to be an Interpol police officer.
That's cool.
I wanted to get defunded when I was younger.
Yeah.
What the hell else did I want to do? I wanted to be, you know, a superhero, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was smart enough to know that it's not actually happening, being a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Not at least with metaphysical
existence.
You know,
Yeah.
not without a spider bite in a radioactive
right.
environment. But I don't know. There's so much I wanted to be, but the very first thing I wanted to be was a cartoonist. I don't know. Between The Simpsons and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of where my art lands now.
Yeah,
Like social narrative and like metaphysical boundaries and what comes with them.
You know, the thing I love about what you do, who you are, is that when you go to your shows, well, I've lived in Atlanta, so I haven't seen them in person yet, but when you see your shows online, it's like you have so many different planes you're operating on. You have the sonic, but then you always have like a presentation to complement what you're doing. So it could be backdrop stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even the way you hold your mics, the two mic thing, I was like, man, this is interesting. So there's always art in everything you're doing. Can I ask, do you draw your cover work, or is that something?
Yeah, I draw most of it.
Yeah, I can tell.
And if I'm not drawing it, I'm doing the graphic design for it. I
Okay.
love to collage in general, like with physical media and digital media.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like very few other times where somebody else does the artwork if I'm like the primary artist on the project.
Okay. Awesome. So you weren't necessarily born in DC, were you, or you were?
Yeah, I feel like should start disclosing this less. But yeah, I was born overseas.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I've been here not my whole life, like
Wow.
real young, like 2 or 3,
Okay.
and grew up in PG, DC. Then when I got to college, I went to college at the Art Institute, lived in VA. I spent most of my life in VA when I was young too.
Right. Right.
But like my family being like first generation, or like my parents being the first people in my family to live here.
Yeah.
We bounced around a lot.
Makes sense.
So like I'm sure that like impedes me, marketing wise.
Okay.
Like, cause you know how like I asked where you from, he's like blank blank, you
Yeah.
know, and it's like direct, but I don't really have anyone direct
Right.
thing, even as like a citizen, like African and American.
Wow.
You know, like I got to perform in the Ivory Coast, and I stick out like shit over there.
Yeah.
The same way I might over here, you know. But it's crazy. I had a lot of issues with locational origins.
That's interesting. It's like you're the true definition of African American.
Mm-hmm.
And then even you just spoke to like how a lot of us are nomadic, but I that's crazy. So you felt like you were out of place here growing up, essentially.
Yeah, I still feel out of place. Like, yeah, I always had a strong sense of being out of place, or like, I don't know, it's a lot, you know, because there's some people, I don't know, if you're different, you're different. You could just tell, and not necessarily like special or anything. It's just I don't have a generational understanding of this country.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a generational connection with my language.
Yeah.
You know, like myself and my sister, I feel like speak English the most naturally and fluid in our family. Yeah, it's just like that.
You speak French as well.
I do.
Okay. Do you mind disclosing where your family is from?
They from the Ivory Coast.
Awesome. Okay. So this city, man, like especially this neighborhood, I was surprised when you told me the Rittenhouse. I was like, I know a lot of killers from Rittenhouse. So I'm like, how is that growing up in this city full of gangsters, being who you are, being as creative as you are, being as I'm not gonna call you sensitive, but being as sensory driven as you were. How was that for you as an artist and creative?
I feel like my attitude, how I write, how I talk, like how the stuff I'm doing when
No, it's all good. You said
the stuff I'm doing when I rap, like how I'm carrying myself. I feel like those things come from growing up where I grew up. Like I went to school in PG till like 2nd grade.
Yeah.
Then I went to school in Southeast.
Okay.
And my mom had a salon in Eastover Shopping Center. You know Eastover?
Yeah.
And she, just my whole life, had that joint, like since 95.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And what the fuck? Like, yeah, bro, you gotta, you know, like, there's people who wash their back, and there's people who don't wash their back. You know, it's like, yeah, I know. I know that my music is like the aggression maybe, or like the way, not even aggression, but more so like 10 toes down, like I'm a stand my ground type rapper. I'm not, you know, like I inherently, and not even just type rapper, type person, I'm sure, like you just inherently are like infallible. You know, you're not trying to be with, you know, you can't call me on nothing. Like even on like stylistically and like characteristically, like Jonan impacts the fucking psyche. Like, you know, like so it was always one person come to school just to cut people up, just to you know, a bunch of people, and then like naturally we Joan too, like a lot of people like in the same places I grew up.
Makes
but
sense.
yeah, I feel like that definitely makes me like how I go, you know.
Speaking of school and scholastic pursuits, how were you as a student? You know, K through 12. Were you Were you an overachiever? Were you
Um,
A student, C student, or?
when I was younger, like I was, I don't know. My mom used to finesse, so I could go to school earlier. I remember starting school earlier
Yeah.
than most people. I was great. Kindergarten, pre-K. First grade, I started like getting in trouble,
Okay.
kinda. Second grade, I was punitive, like system. Like I was no recess,
Yeah.
shorty, like
Yeah.
just. I mean, I don't think I was bad. I wasn't malicious or nothing.
Yeah.
But like I was like super disruptive, or whatever.
Yeah. You strike me as a kid that probably colored outside the lines, but you knew why he was
No,
coloring.
no. That's one thing I did not do. I was an artist.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
But like I would put a background on it if I finished quick enough,
Yeah.
like where nobody else put a background or something.
That
But
makes
like
sense.
stuff like that.
That makes sense. So I understand that you first started music. One of the first songs you did was to Rick Ross's "Every Day I'm Hustling," right?
It was a sample of him.
Yeah.
It was a sample of Rick Ross, Every Day I'm Hustling. But like it's me and my cousin E,
Yeah.
and this is just like Lil Wayne era, I guess. Like Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, or whoever else.
Yeah.
And we was just young, like we
Yeah.
ended up on SoundClick, ended up fucking writing some shit
Mhm.
and recording it somehow,
Yeah.
like,
That makes sense.
but it like, I don't know what we did with those songs, like put it on MySpace Music.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Now there's usually a catalyst in every artist's life. There was a defining moment because a lot of kids, they make music, they fuck around in their crib, they put it up sometimes, but you actually made a conscientious decision to pursue it. Do you remember that moment when you made the choice to say, I'm going to go after this?
My friend Dre Loke, my brother, we was in Friendly. I went to Friendly eventually, out in Fort Washington, and he was like one of my first close friends out there, and he identified as a rapper.
Yeah.
And I remember like him telling me I should, or something, like however it happened, he was just like, yo, you should, why not? And I was like, okay, I want to do this now.
Yeah.
Like I did it, and he fucked with it. I remember how it went the first time. I was like, truth is, I'm ruthless. They be confused as shit when it's my lyric fluency. You try to take it better than the rest, but they be confused with me. I was like, but that's all I remember at the jump. But
Yeah.
like, I remember he was like, yeah, you're interlocking. I was like, what's
Yeah.
interlocking? He was like, you keep rhyming over and over, and like, using the same vowel sound and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's tight. And then he was like, who be interlocking? Like, shit, my man Jay Heavy. And then like, I remember, I just know my understanding of what a rapper was like, infallible. Like, it's like a type of a superhero.
Makes sense.
So like, I wanted to be the best at it, and I just never stopped trying. It's something that like you don't have to pay to do. So it's like, people have hobbies. Some people collect shoes. Some people do whatever. Some people bird watch.
Yeah.
Some people collect antiques. Some people do real estate. Some people travel the world. And that was just, that's not the only thing that any of those people do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just the thing that people took to. They're like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's like performance,
Yeah.
So it's like a super tangible act,
Right, right.
Like people who do civil engineering and shit, who do the layouts for neighborhoods, we generally don't think about them,
Right.
but like we think about the garbage men more,
Yeah.
just because it's like a more obvious gratification, more obvious transaction.
And it feels tangible, like you can see it. And,
Yeah. So yeah, that's that with art. It's just that just happened to be some shit that people care about, and I also really love doing, like, I love creating stuff.
I have to say something. I swear you must have like a hard drive of like the fact that you remember like what year was that when you did that song?
It was 2007.
Yeah. Even your word count per song, I'm like, man. And you remember a lot of them probably generally, right?
I think so. Like if my heart was in it, I don't really forget it.
Wow. Okay.
But like it, there's a process for everything, you know. Like some Jones take me a long time to learn the lyrics for.
Yeah.
Some Jones, it's like, oh yeah, I remember. I just have to go back to the moment. Like if I freestyle a song,
Yeah.
I'll just have to remember it perfectly, the moment, and then like I'll know myself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like boxing. Like if somebody's like, yeah, so he pull up, he throw the hook, I duck that joint,
Yeah.
and when I come back up, I hit him with the up.
Mhm.
While he, you know, it's just like,
Yeah. Muscle memory
yeah,
Yeah.
muscle memory is like real easy
to get back in.
to say it, but yeah, it's like that. Like if I got the muscle memory, yeah. Like if it's a product of an era, like I remember there's an era I was just listening to nothing but Gucci Mane, or
Yeah.
like I might not even have been listening to Gucci anymore, but it caught up to me how
Yeah,
much
yeah.
I listened to Gucci,
Yeah.
and then I was like,
Yeah.
that's like a Walk to Japan
Yeah.
era, like, which is one of my more popular
Another
songs.
song I played too much. My girl was like, "What are you playing?" It's like oh my gosh, I could go on, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I love that song. I
I love that song, man. Like even when I'm gonna get real like fanned out. Like when I couldn't find the video, you put it up. I couldn't find it where I saved the link. I searched so hard for it, and I found it, and I gotta rip it, and I kept it because I was like, man, even like how there's just this confidence in like, look, I'm me. This is DIY. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And just like the drums and just like how you're sitting in the pocket in the groove. But man, another thing, you are a superhero because I don't think I've ever heard of another rapper rapping for 25 hours straight. So 2018, this genius right
No,
here.
dude, there's others.
They done that?
There's others. Not hella.
Nah, man. Not
Like you
not like
count
what
on
you
like
did.
one hand.
Yeah.
But that joint, I don't know. I feel like that joint was kind of death wishy.
Yes. Did you get to 24 hours and you're like, let me just go another hour? Was that what it was, or you just?
Somebody said it's been 24 hours, and I was like, what the fuck? I remember this. I was like, okay, sweet. I could do. Okay, yeah. I was like, okay, 24 hours. I could do this for 2 more hours.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a kind of, in my head, I was like, woof, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you catch somebody when you recognize, you like, what's up?
Yeah.
So, but I was like, if I do it for 2 more hours straight, I'm going to die.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm literally, like, I have 2 more hours of energy until
Yeah.
the car, until you need a new battery.
Wow.
And it don't work that way.
That's crazy.
No.
Did you have to like not talk for a few days after that because your brain had to just be go choo 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 choo?
I had lost my voice.
Wow.
And like, I really didn't sleep after that either. It took
Yeah.
me some time to get to sleep.
Your
Like
body
I-
probably was in shock that you just did that. You don't think so?
Probably. Oh
Yeah.
God, I hope I didn't do anything that caused no long-term shit.
Man,
I don't know.
that's crazy. That's crazy. So essentially, I want people to also know that this man is an Aquarius.
Yes.
He's very much into the science of the stars and astrology. And tell me, what does being an Aquarius do for your artistry?
We was talking about feeling out of place. Uranus, for example, rules Aquarius, and that's the only planet that spins counterclockwise. So it's like that is an inherent difference to the rest of the planets. I'm sure. So I feel like, you know, I go low when they go high.
Yeah.
I go high when they go low. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I don't know. I've always liked the counter of shit. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure it's not isolated to being an Aquarius. You know, it's like growing up how I grew up, I'm sure there's other things that made me like
Yeah.
appreciate the anomaly, made me appreciate the uniqueness in things.
And it makes sense that you exist in the counterculture because the Aquarius planet goes counter.
Yeah, because I could be like, I don't know, there's other artists who grew up like me, but have different signs and did different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Let me ask you this. I believe everyone has a Mount Rushmore of rap influences. How many faces are in it? Is it 4 or 5? I think 5.
4.
4? Okay.
About to be 5 when Trump win in 2032.
That's right. So who's on your Mount Rushmore of Sir You rap?
Rap influences?
Or just influences in terms of like music in general? Because I know you listen more to stuff more than just rap.
Okay, one of the faces is anthropomorphic. It keeps changing.
Yeah.
So the face that keeps changing includes Brick Squad for real, Gucci Mane,
Yes, sir.
Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne,
Yeah.
this one dude, chill motherfucker. I guess Busta could be there as far as like some of the conversational tone.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so that's the ever-changing face, you know. Like people like Blue are there. Like anybody, I was like, oh, I listened to you a lot at one point in time.
Yeah.
But don't really put you on every other day anymore.
Yeah.
That's those people like, oh, Wale is on that ever-changing face of Mount Rushmore.
Incredible. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, anybody, Lupe, Kendrick, anybody that the industry shoved down your throat that was good.
Yeah.
Literally.
Makes sense.
If we get down to it. Okay, now people whose spots are like definitely, I could see how you're, like how I'm nothing without, like probably Jay-Z.
Yeah.
By way of Biggie.
Yeah.
Interchangeably, Biggie or Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Biggie's one of the first raps I learned. Like, I'm sure I rap because of Juicy. You know, I'm like, that informing my ethos, that informing my pathos with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me ask you this. What year were you born?
1993.
Did you remember seeing that album when you were a kid, the Ready to Die?
I didn't. I saw, my stepfather and my uncle had like crazy music selection. Like, it's fucking ridiculous looking back at it. So my entry to rap outside of the radio, outside of like school, outside of TV, like in the house stuff, isolated experiences, I could tell you clear as day. Now that's what I call hip hop 90s. Best rap, that's one CD.
Yeah.
Best rap of the 90s, hip hop hits of the 90s.
Yeah. Those compilation projects.
Yeah. One of them was red, the other one was blue. Like baby blue, like with the ocean on it.
Yeah.
Oh no. Now that's what I call.
Now hits. That's what. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking. They had a commercial with the font and I remember that.
Okay, and track number 1 on like both of those joints was "Baby Got Back" by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm like, why Sir?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like, I don't have proof.
Yeah.
That I was like, I want to be Sir because Sir Mix-a-Lot. I don't have proof, but I'm like,
that makes sense.
You know, I'm like rolling my eyes at the prospect of that being the psychology.
Yeah.
Just him being number 1 on those compilations.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready to Die was in the house, the joint with the baby on it.
Yeah.
Eminem, Marshall Mathers.
We could talk for a long time about so those 2 albums. I think
I'm sure Eminem got a whole lot to do with me too.
what got more? You know, back in the day when CDs had scratches on it because you played it too much. Which of those two CDs had more scratches from Sir?
Neither of them Jones had scratches. Those was not my CDs, and I was not about to.
Yeah.
I'm not about to fuck them Jones up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even supposed to be listening to them Jones for real.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just shutting the fuck up. They don't even know. Like, I'm sure they have no idea how much I listen to that shit to this day.
Yeah.
They, like, I'll say it here and there. I'm like, yeah, you had a nice music selection. Like, thanks. Or like he would, some Jones I would be like, can you put this CD in your CD player?
Yeah.
Like when in the car.
Oh yeah, the magazine.
The joint you used to be able to eject.
Yeah, exactly.
Take in the house, put the CD in.
Yeah.
Come back, put it back in.
Yeah.
Be mad as shit when you leave that joint in the house. Like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, like some Jones he would put in there, other Jones he would just not.
You know, it's interesting. I grew up. I'm a little older than you. I was born '88. So when Eminem came out, the Marshall Mathers LP, I was in 7th grade. No, September 11th happened. No, I was in 6th or 7th grade. I used to get cooked for playing that album. So I just want to know, was you had older OGs who was essentially playing, like your father and your uncle, your stepfather and your uncle, they was playing.
Yeah, but they only listen to current stuff.
Yeah.
Like they was only listening to current stuff and only currents and classics.
I see.
Like no in between.
Yeah.
Like if it's not current and it's not a classic,
yeah,
I'm not listening to that shit ever again.
Okay.
You're like, why would I ever listen to that shit?
Yeah.
Which is
makes sense.
That's the name of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So like I never really saw them listening to it. Like I feel like they genuinely collected CDs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I got this shit like to remember where they at,
yeah,
you know, in life and stuff like that.
Time markers.
Literally.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm like, damn. But yeah, I had jumps like that. Like I never saw him listen to Eminem jump. Played the rap collection Jones.
What do you think your style borrowed from him? Not necessarily borrowed, but how did he influence who you are?
From Eminem?
Yeah.
I remember LimeWire jump. I remember my cousin, whenever it was on MTV, long before I saw the video.
Yeah.
My cousin came up to me. I used to spend so much time with my cousin Eva. He out on the West Coast. Shout out to E.
Yeah.
And he came up to me whenever year came out, like, "Hi kids, do you like violence? You want to see me stick 9 inch nails to each one of my eyelids?"
Yeah.
And then he used to be like, He's like, what the fuck? This used to make me laugh so much.
Yeah.
It just made me laugh so much. And I remember liking the music because of that, like stuff like that, and because like it
Cadence.
sounds good.
Yeah.
You know.
That's crazy. Now back to Wayne. In Atlanta, people don't know how much Wayne was a god here. I feel like I'm not kind of hypothesizing this is the case with you, but a lot of guys from that era still look like Wayne because Wayne ran shit here. Do you feel like you got anything from Wayne in terms of like rappability or?
Like I'm wondering the psychology, like how much. Like I remember I got dreads and I was like I always wanted hair first of all.
Yeah.
I don't know what that roots to.
Yeah.
Could be. I'm sure it's what's in the mix is like anime.
Yeah.
People that are cool, like fucking Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Alpha Blondie. I remember, like he's just this artist my dad used to listen to.
Yeah.
Like Jesus. Like.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Wayne is in the mix.
Yeah.
Like so many motherfuckers from here, I'm sure too.
Yeah.
Like, but this nigga, boy, talk about my cousin informing my compass. This nigga once commented on my MySpace, typed out the whole lyrics to "Upgrade You" by Lil Wayne.
Wow.
Like, and I'm like, did you write this?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
That's crazy.
My cousin like, yeah, I wrote this. Like he made that rhyme up.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So I'm sure that informed me. I'm like, damn, I can't write that good.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's
Hey, my cousin was actually nice too. He's still nice, bro.
Eva, right?
Eva.
Yvonne?
Yeah, D-Life, bro.
That's what's up. So let me ask you this. So you are a fan of Wayne. You're a fan of Jay. These two gentlemen I hear allegedly do not write. Do you write your raps, or is that a secret that we shouldn't know?
I feel like they don't write literally, but like they like they would do punch-ins.
Yeah.
I know they freestyle well,
Yeah.
and I grew up thinking that a freestyle meant you made it up right there. I just grew up being like, yeah, they made that up right there,
Yeah.
like off the top.
Yeah.
So I've worked really hard to to be able to freestyle a verse as good as anything, as good as anybody's.
In your catalog, what percentage would you say you approached it from like a freestyle situation, or you kind of like sat down, pen and lap, counted out your bars, and was like, all right.
When I freestyle, I just go in, but I think the percentage of it, 25% is like the first number popped into mind.
Yeah.
It's like high 20s, 28%,
Yeah.
or 30. I don't
Yeah.
know. I've been freestyling more than I've been writing, technically,
Yeah.
but how much of it I don't know. It's hard to say.
What's your preference? Do you like to conceptualize before you sit down, or you just like to let the music speak to you and you just go? Because I'm understanding some people like to just go in the booth like Sada Baby. He goes in, he tries to see what is it saying to him, and he starts punching and talking to it. Is that your process, or?
I don't really like to punch in.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a dream to be the best rapper.
Yeah.
So I like, if I could do some like big superhero shit and just
Yeah.
in one take give one of the best verses of all time,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do that.
That's awesome. That's
Sometimes I'm like, whoa, that's not the best verse of all time, but that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'll log it like archivically.
awesome.
Is
Okay.
that a word?
I think so. It is today.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: this creative culture that's here in DC. This was not here when I was a kid. I left in 2007 to go to college,
Mm-hmm.
and I really did not see the scene here. So, would you be able to speak to that, like in terms of like the creative environment that you exist in, and because I see, I don't want to suppose, but like I see you did a lot of stuff with Tony Cruz. And I'm just like, man, this scene was not here. Like, where was it when I was a kid? Because I probably would have stayed if I knew there was other weirdos. And you're not a weirdo, but if there was other people who are not in Sabiato and Nike boots and going to Go-Go's every single day, like, yeah, I guess the creative environment here.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I feel like an environment within myself. I feel like there's a myth of a scene
Yeah,
where like we see proximities via a lineup
Yeah.
for a show.
yeah,
We see proximities via suggested artists or the features that people release.
yeah,
But it's really a bunch of people who are environments within themselves
yeah,
interacting. And there's no pocket that is not connected to the all
Yeah.
by way of degrees of separation.
makes sense.
So I feel like what might seem like a scene is really just that.
Yeah,
It's like a scene,
yeah,
but like it's art imitating life,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And no part is really in the know, When
Yeah.
you paint a picture, you paint a scene, the colors, the paints don't know what's happening.
yeah. I see what you're saying.
So I'm like, just speaking as a color, as a colored, I'm just like, I don't know. I work with the people I work with.
Yeah,
And other people do, and I don't be knowing what the fuck is going on outside of
yeah,
the people I work with, tops,
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. And it's always been that way. Like, there's been eras of broadened demographics concentrated around a smaller group of things, but that's never the what's all going on, you know, because I used to be a member of the Ku Klux Klan, the rap group, and that was popping. You got Slutty Boys that's popping.
Yeah.
You got Wale popping. You got whatever else going on.
Yeah.
But we're not all connected, you know.
Yeah.
But like, if you look back at a time historically, you're like, oh, these three groups was popping. What was it like? You know, you asked one of them, what was it like? They're like, yeah, we was just doing us.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah. That's what I'm saying.
What's going on? Right, yes, sir.
This Tooth Choir, bro.
Tooth Choir. I've never seen you before. Nice to meet you. COVID safe. I love your work, bro. That's incredible, man. That's incredible. Yeah. So that's another person. So what you're saying is beautiful, because you're saying like your color, but you're within a color palette of a specific time.
Yeah, like I'm just a representation of something going on in
That
these
makes
times.
sense. Yeah.
You know, and stuff gets pigeonholed a lot of the time through association.
Yeah.
Which is like, there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
You know, you got the blog era
Yeah.
rappers.
Yeah.
You know, you got like trap era rappers.
Yeah.
But like, there's artists in each of these jumps that like,
Yeah.
I don't know, somehow you get typecasted.
Yeah.
And that shit's crazy, because people I'm associated with, I don't know, you know. Like, there's an article that came out, I think it's Merry-Go-Round magazine, and they was like, one thing, like, I'm a person that the article's about. You know, I was, my album Midnight Train and Velvet was their Bandcamp pick of the week, and they was like, in DC, artists silently pay homage to go-go in Discordy type punk era. And I'm like, I'm so challenged by that, because I'm not silently paying homage to go-go.
Yeah.
I make motherfucking go-go.
Yeah.
Also, like,
Yeah.
you know, I got some fucking go-go songs. Like, I would make motherfucking more if it was easy.
Yeah. That's incredible what you're just saying, because I feel like a lot of the media, a lot of them are hacks, right? So if they don't understand like the nuances of the city, they're like, okay, go, he's from DC. Let me just say that, because they could have said Fat Troll's playing homage to go-go. It's like, I think they just would have like,
because he rapped like a fucking lead mic.
Exactly.
Like, everybody that's anything around here rap like to a go-go beat, like in their head.
I agree.
Anybody that's not shit around here, anybody that's not on some bullshit, they rap into a slight go-go beat, kind of like an authentic one too, not like they've been in the go-go or cranked some go-go. You don't have to have gone, like, you know, to be in tune with that frequency.
Man, you're speaking gospel. Like, I try to explain to people how Gleesh, right? Gleesh is another person I
perfect example.
I'm like, and I try to explain to people, I was like, when I was a kid, he was in a band, and the way he approaches
a band.
Yeah. he was a musician. Like, he wasn't even like, they would think he was a lead. Mike was like, no, he was literally like on the Rollertons then.
Like, but he still he goes.
Yeah.
He goes. His
what I'm saying is
crazy.
that his approach is just like yours. It's not just like yours, but it's like you guys are finding I hate to do this. And you guys go in the ands, right? And then like everyone else, New York, they're 1, 2, 3, 4. DC's like in the ands. And I'm like, when I heard Gleesh do the walk there, I said, exactly. People in Atlanta were beating their feet to it, and it's like, what are you guys doing to that? Exactly. Walk. And it was like, why are you guys like this? I was like,
that's
don't
a
understand.
slam go-go jump.
Exactly.
Like, but I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
like, it's so hard. Like, I'm sure as a community
Yeah.
of people, in a lot of sectors, we like are calling somebody a rapper gets more and more cringy.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like we we're subconsciously even realizing like like damn, like I've been calling Bleach a rapper all this time, but like
Yeah.
this thing,
He's more than that.
he's a musician.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like literally.
Yeah, yeah.
And like got a motherfucking musical IQ,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm,
Like whatever.
that's beautiful. Now, I do want to pivot and talk about. So there was an era of Sir You where the music was a bit dark. So you, so you mentioned once that you lost someone very close to you. Would you be okay with talking about that?
Yeah. What is that the era what year you think it was dark?
I think like around 4 years ago.
This is so surreal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason I bring this up is because I'm getting married right in a few months.
Wow,
One of my
congrats.
best men, thank you so much, he took his life, right? And we literally spoke like a week before that, and I'm just like, wow. So I saw how that shaped. I mean, 2020 is fucked, right? But I saw how that loss really shaped me. And then when I was doing my research, you mentioned that it really touched me. I was like, man, I want to ask him about that to see if that had.
Oof. That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm still in shock.
Yeah.
And that was 2012 when my friend passed.
Yeah.
I found him dead
Wow.
also.
I'm sorry about that, bro.
Like we shared a room. That's my little brother,
Yeah.
my best friend.
Yeah.
And they're just not walking around anymore. They're just
Yeah.
not living anymore.
Yeah.
Not in the way that I want.
Yeah.
Not in the way that I miss. And what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you don't get over stuff like that. You just learn how to deal better.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
as time goes on, like there's no way you're gonna lose a finger
Yeah.
and be like, oh yeah, it's actually lit.
Yeah.
You're just gonna learn how to function at it's actually lit.
It's funny that you say that because now that I lost one of my best friends, it's like people talk about ghosts, but it's just like you said, it's like a ghost limb. They're gone, but they're still there, right? You feel them, but you wish you can see it, but the nub, and it's just
Because
like,
you know, like even if you delete a program off a computer, the other programs will still have run with per the memory of having
Yeah.
that. Like you
Yeah.
remove Adobe Shockwave Player.
Yeah.
You know, the browser, when you do something with that, they're gonna be like, oh, you need to update,
yeah,
or you're not gonna be able to do it. You know,
Yeah.
we're just the computer mirrors our brain.
yeah,
You know, so that shit is just sad.
Yeah.
As fuck. It's just sad. It's always gonna be sad.
yeah. I understand.
And that was like my best friend, like, and like we were the fiercest competitors. Like
Yeah.
we pushed each other so much. Who's never gonna put out a shitty rap song while the other exists?
Yeah,
Like, and that's shits and giggles.
yeah,
It's just that's also what I fucking do.
yeah,
So it's like, when he passed, I felt like it's probably why the music got darker. Like, when he passed, I felt like we became one. And it was like through a few ways. One, by like his imprint on me. It was just like I was like Harvey Dent.
yeah,
You know, one side of me mourning and homaging
yeah,
and living for and honoring, and the other side of me just, fuck, I have half a face. You know? But yeah, it's still going.
yeah, absolutely.
That's my dog.
Yeah.
Like, I still see him. Like, I be him, I act like him, I am him.
Yeah,
Like,
he lives on.
I do.
Yeah. That's interesting because I've always, once again, when describing you to the people who haven't caught up yet, I always say he reminds me so much of Joey, but it makes sense now why Joey Badass is like something that, because I feel I don't want to disrespect you by saying it's like you are best defined when I'm discussing you as like Bad Brains meets Joey Badass meets Buju Banton meets like, and then I'm into like the whole lo-fi scene. So like you sound nothing like Quelle, but like you still approach it from like, dude, it doesn't have to be
Talib?
Yeah, Talib, or even like Quelle Chris, or
Quelle, that's the person that's married to Jean Grey.
Yeah.
They make lo-fi?
Well, here's my thing. I define a lot of things as lo-fi. Now, go-go to me is lo-fi is not. But I think anything that's not.
Do they be like rapping with vocal effects type shit?
Kind of.
Okay.
His production sounds a bit, I don't want to say dirty, but it just sounds like unmixed masterpieces.
Okay.
Right. But
I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
So
I guess that's lo-fi.
Would you consider yourself a lo-fi artist, or is that not?
My eyeballs twitching.
Is that a trigger
It's
for
not
you?
an offensive question.
Yeah.
It's probably qualifies as a trigger.
Yeah.
But it's just so evocative of a question.
Yeah.
It's so like brings out the key, brings out the aura.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm consequently lo-fi, I guess, because I don't have top 40 CDQ.
Yeah.
Or it's not even CDQ no more.
Yeah.
We don't make CDs, but I don't have peak fidelity. So consequently.
Is that what you want though? Do you want to? Because I've always just in my imagination of thinking about when you're creating, I always thought you were just like, I want this to sound like this. I'm standing on this. I'm adamant about this sounding as it is.
No, I'm just poor. Like I need to. Like me, I'm making the best rap album if I got the budget.
Wow.
Like this, I am.
That's insane. Because I want to tell you, I know this is under the Don't Change show, but I'm telling you, don't change. I really thought this was like what you were doing intentionally. Like, because I know there's another guy on Cali I really like, Koreatown Oddity. He sounded a lot like you, right? And then he got cleaner with it. And I was like, I kind of miss the old dirty stuff, but maybe it's just the go-go kid in me. I just like hearing the acoustics bounce a certain way and hearing like the mic kind of, hit it in a certain way, but,
Well, yeah. I don't know. That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there are times where I've done it with high fidelity.
Yeah.
Like, I think on Red Heli, I did it with high fidelity.
Yeah.
Some parts of African American Psycho are high fidelity.
Yeah.
I don't know. As time goes on, there are these blips of me being able to do me in high fidelity. But yeah, it's crazy. You know, from the inside looking out, I'm just like, okay, this shit is lit. I'm gonna share this jump. You know, I'm not gonna wait.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wait to do whatever, because I'm like, I can't even, bro. Like it's so much. It's so much shit I want to and can do.
Yeah.
And so much that I'm not able to. So much that, like triple entendre.
Yeah.
Like it's so much to do.
Yeah.
So much to do. And like, I don't know, I'm sure there's a part of me that's like, okay, one of them niggas, Da Vinci, or Michelangelo, probably Da Vinci. The nigga just had hella concepts.
Yeah.
Just hella sketches, hella blueprints for, all right, nigga, this how you gonna make the motherfucking airplane.
Yeah.
I can't do that shit because these bumpkins don't make jet fuel yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the energy. I can't make this airplane because I'm a bumpkin who does not have access to jet fuel.
I see. I love that. Do you in terms of like independence, what's your stance on that in terms of like artists and musicians? Do you believe it's better to be independent, or do you not mind being signed to the evil monster of the record labels?
This is crazy. I have so many personalities that want to answer this. Yeah, Satan's pretty cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Also, no, like, resist the evils.
Yeah.
Totally resist the evils. You know, one sarcastic response first, second one, not even directed at you, but like sarcastically, like, no, fuck no, I can't side with the evils.
Yeah.
It's somebody has to lose.
Yeah.
When you do something like that, somebody always has to lose. Somebody always has to lose.
Do you feel that it has to be that way, or they just making a choice?
You cannot make money without
Wow.
two different opinions on value.
I did not know that. Okay.
You know?
Capitalism.
Yeah.
That's incredible. All right. Well, record labels, you know how he stands on that. So so let me ask you this. I love the October 71 project. So collaboration, is that something that you thrive off of, or do you more so like solo situations? Do you feel as if you excel in solitude?
I mean, collaboration is inevitable.
Yeah.
It also is like not a necessity.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like somebody might add something. You might add something. But when you're doing stuff by yourself, that's something.
Yeah.
You know, but like, there's two things. Like, some collaboration comes from two people doing one thing by themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you conjure up the instrumental, I'll put the voice on it.
Yeah.
Or we both do some of this, and we both have direction on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens because most of the people I end up being friends with are artists.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be in the same place doing the same thing, invite each other, or have each other in mind, or something. You know. I feel like I'd be linking up with like able-bodied people.
Yeah.
Like people who
And nimble-minded people as well.
Yeah, like people who we push each other.
Yeah.
And like I even have enough esteem to say that, just because like it do be good, and I'll be like matching people. So like I know they're tight as shit because like I'd be pushing myself with stuff. I like pushing myself in general. You know?
Awesome. Now, you have a show tonight. This may not come out in time for that, but I just want you to speak to, as we close here, speak to essentially what things you have happening, possibly the top of 21 and beyond, if we survive this godforsaken year, if it's not the end of the world. What do you have coming that we, as fans, we have to look forward to from Sir You?
I think that myself, Tooth Choir, and Brian Dinkle will release a project or a song. I can't really guarantee it, but like I'm gonna put some more shit out. I'm always gonna be putting shit out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then tonight you're performing at Exhibition.
I'm a part of Exhibit 121, which is Brian Dinkle, Tooth Choir, and I showcasing our collaborations.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the gospel from the God himself, Sir You. I just want to thank you so much for taking time. I know it's getting a little nippy out here, so hopefully you get ready for the exhibit tonight. So thanks, man. Peace and blessings.
Peace. Thank you, King.
Thanks so much, Max.